Hello everybody, I'm Cuban, I speak Spanish. I was born in Cuba. My name is Michelle Johnson, but everybody call me here in America, they call me Mike, because Michelle is a female name here in America. But in my country, in Cuba, there is no Michelle as a female name. So every Michelle in my country is male, is man, right? I want to introduce to you because I want to explain to you as a black people in Cuba. I want to teach you how is to grow up in Cuba being a black Spanish man, right? Being a black Spanish man is a very difficult situation, because as you hear in America, in Cuba, black people were slaves. Or all black people around America, they were sent, or they were brought about by Spanish people or British people, right? So sorry for my English. I don't speak too much English, but I want to improve, and I want to explain to you as much as possible in English. My friend, my fellow, I want to tell you that being black Spanish man in Cuba is not easy, because in Cuba there is a lot of racism by the government. The government, there is no rules against black people. But for example, let me tell you something. For example, the schools in Cuba are not private. All schools in Cuba are public. The educational system in Cuba is public, so everybody can go to the same school. Black people, white people, mixed people, shiny, every single skin color. All right. So any complexion can go to the same school. So your best friend can be black when you are a child, but when you grow up, it makes the difference, right? You start, everybody start join to different groups, ethnic groups. For example, you can go to the school for free. The educational system in Cuba is free. You don't have to pay nothing for go to the school. The public school, yeah, every school is private, is public, sorry. But when you finish that school, and you become a doctor, you become an engineer, you become a technician, for find the job is the problem, right? Being black is the problem. The problem is to find the job for work. So there is a way of racism. There is a way of racism. For example, if you go to the best jobs in Cuba, most of the people are white. In that, most of the doctors are white. Most of the people who work on television are white. So you see some black people, not to say never, but most of the people who get the first actor are white people. Okay, you don't see no enough propaganda like with black people on it. So if you go to a hotel, the manager is white, the technicians are white, the people who stay in front of the desk, most of white. So where you can see the black people in Cuba, right, in the hotels, work in the hotel, you can see the black people cleaning the floor. All right, or you can see the black people in the kitchen, hiding in the kitchen, or you can see the black people security. Okay, they protect, all right, the business for the white people. That's what's the system in my country. You don't see no black people with too much money. If you see the black people with enough money, must be coming from sports, some of them stealing from the same public sector, for example, because all the big companies belong to the government, so the black people join that company and they start stealing from the government, and they get a lot of amount of money, and that's the way they take the money from, where they take the money from. For example, that is why in Cuba, when I say I'm from Cuba, a lot of people don't recognize me as Cuban, because most of the Cuban people that you see are out of Cuba are white, because white got more money than black people in my country. So for travel out of Cuba is very difficult. It's very expensive, right, for black people. So the most people that you see out of Cuba are white. That's what he said. When you think that the Cubans are white, if you see a few Cuban black people out of the country about 10 years ago, was in a sports field. That was the most people you see, the black people, Cuban black people. But we are a lot of black people in Cuba, plenty black people in Cuba. That's why one question the American citizen asked me here in the United States. Hey, there is a lot of black people in Cuba. I say yes, for sure. There's a lot of black people, but living in poverty. Most of the black people in Cuba are poor. They are poor. They don't have too much money, right? So that is why I want to explain to you about the races, about the situation that the black people in Cuba got faced. I remember when I was a child, right? They made in the school. They made they want to make like a small movie for show. When you are children and people start the teacher start giving us different roles to be in the movie, right? The queen, the king, the driver, and I remember my role was as a slave. All the black people, the black people got to the teacher asked us. They asked for buy some clothes like a slave to roll, to make a movie like a slave. That is what all they have in their mind, like we are not free people. Like they look us still like we are a slave. If they talk something about black people, they only talk about like a steal, like a steal, or like a dirty people, or like a stink people. You understand what I mean? That is something that I would like to tell you for my American people. This is the first video I make in English. I will try to improve my English, alright, to the American people, to explain to my black people or to the American citizen in English what is going on in my country, in Cuba, alright, the country where I come from. Cuba is a dictatorship. That's one thing that you have to know. Cuba is a dictatorship. 66 year, the same party, the Communist Party, ruling the country. The same people ruling the country 66 years. All right, there is no democracy. There is no democracy at all. There is the same people ruling the country. All right, the health system is shared. The management of that government is shared. It's totally wrong. No democracy, no freedom. Okay, you can tell nothing against the government because you can go jail. This is the first time I speak to you English. This is my first video I make it in English, but I want to give you more and more. I will learn more English to give you more of my life. Okay, thank you so much. Make a like. Okay, subscribe to my channel, and please share if you can this video with other person to understand what is going on. Being a black people, a Cuban black people in America. Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy your day. God bless you forever.